Okay, I think I'm back. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm using Restream, so it's hard to tell. It just ended my stream. Not too sure why. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the stream. Is everybody good? Can everybody see everything? Hello again, Cookify. Thanks for coming back. Sorry about that. I'm not too sure what happened, but I guess min password will do 8. I'm not sure if PocketBase has one. Actually, I have a regex that I just did today. That we'll use here. I'm really quite new to programming, so I'm chucking myself in the deep end. And that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, you'll spend forever in tutorial hell, as they call it. Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like one of my favorite things to do. It's cool because you can create anything, you know? Yep, that's what I did too. It's cool because, again, the projects I do, I try to, or at least the ones I make videos about. My live streams, I'm not too concerned with making sure that everybody could, you know, copy it or do whatever. But my videos, I want to make them to where you could take whatever I'm doing and, you know, make some slight modifications and make it in your own entirely separate thing, right? Oh yeah, there is. Are you a part of the Svelte Discord as well? If not, make sure you join that. There's a gold mine of information there and you can search it too. So chances are if you can't find it on Google, you'll find it on the Svelte Discord. Was gonna make a post about my problem. Yeah, definitely check out the Svelte Discord. There's a ton of resources in there. And you can literally search it. So you can search whatever you wanted. So I could just say, I don't know, stores. And people ask a lot of questions here. There's answers. So can writable stores be preserved? So, and Discord search is actually pretty decent. I won't lie. It's better than I expected it to be. Yeah, if you have an issue, you can always ask it in my Discord as well if you're a part of it. We have a questions channel where you can just ask, and chances are if I can't answer it, then someone else can. We'll do this here. It's the same validate generic that I made in my PocketBase video too. And it's going to come from Zod, so we can import that in. Oh wait, this is in the wrong space. Kind of annoyed that stream got cut off because I'm gonna have a weird shorter video on my channel, I think. These are just helper functions that are going to make it easy for me to validate using Zod. So I can just import I need to type here. Is that how it is? Oh, they're all types. I'm silly. I am silly. Okay. And I think that I had to so now here, what I can do is I can just simply await So I can do const form data and errors equals await validate data. And I'll pass in the await request.form data as well as the schema. So this schema is going to be the register user schema. Say if errors will return invalid. Data will be form data and errors will be errors.field errors. And we're not doing anything with these errors right now. We will in a minute. So then we can do try await locals.sb.auth.signup. And I just pass in credentials. So I think I just passed in an object, right? So in this case, I can just pass in email is going to be formdata.email and password will be formdata.password. And then I guess what type of error is this going to be? Okay, so it actually takes an error. So I say so do I need to even use try catch here? I don't think I do, right? That's pretty nice, I think. I'll say if error return. What does this error look like? An auth error. So it should have a status and a message, right? So we'll have a message, but I guess it won't have a status. So we can just say 500, probably. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Okay. And I guess I'll redirect here to the login page. That is what I'll do. I don't really need to do anything with data in this case. Right now, I may actually want to create the account though in the future, so I'll leave that alone for the time being. And then let's see here. I should be able to now register a user. I have all of this. Oh my God, that's not a password field. Let me see here. That's a nightmare. Okay, so redirecting to the login page, which is good. Although we do not have it created yet, so we got a 404, but that's okay. Let me log into my email here so I can make sure that I got the email. And it's going to redirect me somewhere else. So I need to actually do that again, I believe. And let me go in here. I'm not sure where it's going to spill the beans of my password. So let me just authentication. Localhost 5173 is the site name, so let's save that here. And then we do okay. That should be all good. So let's try that again. Let me first actually just delete the user I have, or that I created here. I'd love to know your setup. VS Code looks awesome and that browser looks cool too with the tabs on the left. So this is Edge. This is Microsoft Edge, surprisingly. I'm actually a big fan of their browser. I've noticed it's less tough on my CPU than Chrome is. I can have all the same extensions. Yeah, Luminox, I don't know what happened. Restream just has a mind of its own. It just ended both my Twitch. I may have actually hit a shortcut, to be honest. I probably should check. But I probably hit a shortcut to end the streams, which is annoying. Because when they end, they end. Welcome back, Luminox. Yeah, Alan, you just right click and you hit turn on. So if it looks like this, you click turn on vertical tabs. And then you can either close it like this, which I don't like because I'm always over here. So I just pin it and then make it as small as I like, so I can see what I'm doing over here. Yeah, it's super nice. I like it a lot. And then for VS Code, I'm pretty sure I just used the I used GitHub Dark, I believe. I did make some modifications to the folder icon colors. So anything within the routes folder is green. Unless it has like a specific name that matches something, I believe, but yeah, I think it's just GitHub Dark, my theme. Yeah, I'm using GitHub Dark. Need 1 second here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Alan says, oh, okay, so it's not like certain extensions, you did it yourself. So there's a VS Code. I'm using like the material icon theme, I believe. Material icon theme here for icons. And then again, I really want to post a list of my extensions. I've installed so many that I don't even really know what I have anymore. And I probably don't need a lot of these. You can see I have a lot of these disabled, or they're just not. I have a lot of extensions. Wow. I certainly don't need all these. Probably makes my computer, it's probably why my TypeScript server is laggy sometimes because I'm running 50 extensions, but yeah, so I've dealt with a lot of languages and I've tried out a lot of different things. So pretty much everything I've ever used, I've installed an extension for. Okay, so now let's try to log in again or sign up. Okay, that's good. It should redirect me there. Check my email here and then I'll confirm. And it looks like we're now should be verified in Superbase. If I check here and I go to reload, I should be good to go. And let's see if that profile got created or if I messed up my function. And we do in fact have a profile created for each. Let me make sure I have the right one. E3. So I can delete this one. And then I can do a login with email here as well. So it'd just be like this. And then I can make my login page, which I'm actually just going to copy paste this, change it to login, change this to login here for now. And then I'm also going to change this to login. What is this? Oh, wait. Okay. So now we'll pass in the login user schema instead of the register user schema. Yada, yada, yada. We have all this. That's good. And then instead of doing this here, we'll do login, I think, or sign in with password. I'm assuming data. Okay, it's going to be a user and a session. I shouldn't need to do anything with those, I don't believe. I guess I'll redirect them to the home page whenever they're successful. Okay, so I believe I'm logged in now. If I go to my app here, I now have a Supabase auth token. So I guess I'm trying to think about what the best way to do, or the best way to track if a user's logged in. I would guess, oh, there's probably a method I can call. Get session. Okay, so the session will be null in the event that a user is not signed in or has logged out. So then for these pages here, I think what I could take in, I could take locals. And then I will say locals here. Get session. And data should be what, a session? Okay, so in this case, if they have a session, then what I want to do is I want to throw a redirect to the home page. Okay, I think this will work. And I can test this. So right now I should be logged in, right? So if I go to log in, okay, I'm getting a 500. Oh, wait. Sorry. That might have been why right there. Let's see here. If I go to log in now, I can't get there. And then we can do the same thing at register as well. And then for log out, we'll just create an endpoint. Whoops. how did I do that last time? Okay, that's all I have to do. Okay. So I think this can just take in, I think for sign out, it can just take an error. And I certainly probably don't care if there's an error. I still want to set the session to null and this to null as well. I guess I don't really need to, actually, I do want to do that, I think. So where are my types? Oh, no. I'm not doing this every time. I think if I just kill the session, I think we're good. I think we can retain the client there, and that shouldn't be too much of an issue, right? So on every request, we are getting this session. So what I can do is in my layout, okay, so now that I'm logged in here, wait, what did I just do? Oh, I'm trying to get here. So this actually needs to be a form. The action will be /logout. The method will be post. So now I log out, I can't do anything, right? And I see the login and register buttons there. May have went too drastic here, but sorry about that noise. Okay, cool. So now what we have is we have profiles. A first name and a last name. So let's create another route called profile. We'll do my, and then we'll do profile again. And then this will have the information. So we'll have a form here, of course. We'll take in data first, the page data. Then we'll have a form. ID is going to be first name. Wait, why is Prisma formatting this? I thought it was going to be more spaced apart. I thought Prisma did some really nice formatting for me. I feel like it's not doing that right now. Okay. I thought it would like line these up. Am I tripping here or am I tripping? I feel like the last time I used Prisma, all of these were lined up. And it looked really nice and easy to read. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of like MongoDB or something. Maybe I'm thinking about Mongoose. Oh, this is my other one. Well, it might help if I was actually in the right Supabase project here. Okay, cool. Do you like the way SvelteKit has routes laid out? I find myself often getting confused with tabs I have open. Yeah, I think there's a reasoning for it, which is why a lot of other languages like Next.js are now starting to do this a very similar thing. But I have this showing here, so I can always see which page.svelte I'm editing. I'm editing the profile one. This one is the routes layout. I think that may be a setting I have set somewhere. Yeah, no, that's why I have this setting. It shows which folder it's in, and that helps me. But yeah, it is a little bit confusing. But I've kind of gotten used to it. But yeah, definitely just at a quick glance, it's hard to tell. I may actually take care of this first. It's going to take in a string, which is going to be the user's ID. And then I think I need to run a try catch. Again, I'm still learning Prisma for anybody who's just popping back in. I haven't used it in over a year, so I need to refamiliarize myself with this, but once I get familiarized, I'll be good to go. So I want to fetch a record, get a record by ID. And I actually need to set up Prisma as well. So inside of lib, I'm going to create a server and then prisma.ts. And I actually need to get the connection pool URL. So let me blur really quick and grab that. Hey, Schoolie B, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you here. And thank you for following. Oh, yeah, followed you on Twitter, saw you were a vet. Yep, I was in the Marines for 5 years. What about you? Navy for 5. Nice, you guys are our taxi drivers. Kidding. We would not exist without you all. Where were you stationed at? I know the Navy has a lot of options when it comes to being on a ship or... I was part of an infill extract platform for Force Recon. Which force? First? So you're at Pendleton? That's where I was at. I almost joined the British Navy when I was in my 20s, a long time ago. Really wish I had of. Yeah, that was the best decision I ever made in my life, next to deciding to be with my girlfriend, my current girlfriend. Next to that, joining the military was the best thing that could have happened to me. ID is going to be user ID, which we're going to pass in a minute, and then we'll catch the errors. And I guess I'll gracefully handle these errors this time. I was in Coronado in the Amphib base, but our recon guys were in Pendleton. Yeah, I was Pendleton too. I was with 1st Marines, 1st Marine Regiment. Good times. It's hard to believe. Actually, in like 2 days, it'll be 8 years since I joined. So I first left my home and went to boot camp. But I always tell anybody who's younger, even if you're not super young, if you don't really know exactly what you want to do, join the Air Force. Yeah, same here actually. I joined December of 14 and got out in 2019. I agree. Definitely an option. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Joined up. I regret nothing. Same here. I wanted to go to college, but for the wrong reasons. I wanted to go to college, be with my friends, hang out. I didn't really know what I wanted to study. I didn't really know what I was passionate about. I like technology, but it was different back then because it wasn't cool to be into technology. It was like a nerd thing, right? So kind of always kept that a secret. And I thought it'd be a challenge. I had never really been through a super challenging time. So yeah, it actually worked out for the best. I was able to get experience and get a job right out, making more money than I ever thought was possible. And I also have a clearance, which enables me to have my current job too. So I work for an American software company that has a lot of vets. Interesting how many get in development. Yeah, it's actually really rare, to be honest. Like, there's a high demand for software engineers, software developers with security clearances. Because up until recently, I think the Air Force has an MOS now for that, or a job now for that. And I'm sure the Space Force does as well. But yeah, there's not a lot of opportunities to get on-the-job training or even get real exposure to it, right? Like, my first exposure to programming was just doing something for my job, making something or automating something for my job with Python. And then ever since then, I've been hooked, because the idea that you can create literally whatever you want. You may have a hard time doing it, but you can do it. It's most likely possible to do whatever you want to do. Build whatever you want to build. Okay, so handling exceptions and errors. I was unlucky when I went to school. Computers in the home are very rare. Yeah, I got my first laptop at age, I want to say 11 or 12. And I immediately tried converting it into a Mac or a Hackintosh and started experimenting with virtualization, and yeah. Part of me wants to be able to just, I wonder if I could handle this here. So if I go into my lib and I just make, I guess this would be a server only, right? I think. I just wonder what the errors show, what kind of messages they show. I don't know if that should ever be run on the client. Jacob says, how long have you been a developer, and any advice for interviews? So I actually don't work as a developer professionally right now. So I was a network and systems engineer, and then now I'm essentially like a full stack, I guess consultant is the word you could use. I work for a large solutions integrator. So I guess you could also refer to my role as like a solutions architect. Now we do deal with applications, like application architecture. from time to time, but most of the time, my day to day is like data center design, infrastructure side of the house. But things are starting to shift into, again, the cloud. A lot of data centers are moving into the cloud, and then with that comes the process of actually getting their applications cloud ready, trying to, rather than lifting and shifting VMs, being able to containerize and consolidate. So yeah, I don't have any advice for like a developer interview necessarily. I know if you're trying to work at a big company, you need to be running leak code like many hours a day. But I would say just interview, and you'll start to learn what kind of questions are being asked, and then you can rehearse those beforehand or study up beforehand, right? When I have interviewed people in the past for other roles, technical roles, I've always cared more about their thought process, and obviously their experience is important too. But rather than asking questions that have a definite yes or no, I like to ask questions that are kind of open-ended and listen to them explain how they would solve a problem, or how they solved the problem in the past, or how they've used tool X, Y, or Z. You can tell a lot about if someone's actually used it or not. But I think if you're doing a lot of developing in your free time and building applications, you'll start to like pick up a lot of things that someone would be surprised with, someone with no experience would know. So I'm gonna make a helper function here. I think I can do this. Handle Prisma errors. It's gonna take in an error, which is gonna be I wonder how I should do this. Maybe I'm not really too sure what the best way to do this would be, but it could either be what are my options here? So I have a Prisma client response error. Okay, I posted my question in your Discord. Hopefully someone can help me. Probably easy for someone with a lot of PocketBase experience. I could probably point you in the right direction as well. I'll check it out here 1 second. Jacob says, thanks, been watching your SvelteKit videos and help out a lot. Keep it up. I certainly will do, Jacob. I certainly will do. So Prisma client known request error. We could also do Prisma client Rust panic error. I guess it could technically be any of these, right? But I most likely want to check. These are mostly for me. So there's quite a bit of these. So I think it would probably be an issue with a known request error. This is when Prisma Connect is called. This is a Prisma client data validation error. I think it's probably going to be one of these, right? So I guess what I can just do is And I could say if I guess I don't really need to do this, I guess. I guess I'll leave this alone for now. And what I can do is I can just, because most likely it's gonna be an issue for me. I guess we'll do that for now. And then up here, we'll return profile if it comes back. And then we'll return here, we'll return profile is going to be locals.session.user.id. Whoops, it's actually going to be, sorry, get user profile. And then we're going to pass in this value here, which is a string. I guess that would error out regardless. So I guess that's okay, maybe. I don't really like doing this. I guess I could also say then I don't think I need undefined here. And I can just do this. So then on this page, we'll have access to this here, and we can set the value equal to data.profile dot first name. I guess I could do this if Whoa. What do I want to do here? Do I want to throw an error? I'm trying to prevent having to deal with potentially having an issue with not having a return and then also not handling that. So I think in this case, this might solve that. Okay, so profile could be null, I guess. In what case though? My question is, in what scenario would this be null? In what case would this be null? If it aired out, yes, but I think it should I guess I can just run one check here. I don't really like this, but thanks for the stream. Of course, Alan. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good night. It's 3 a.m. Wow. Are you in Canada or in Canada or UK? You're in UK. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate that. You have a great night as well. Alicius, welcome to the stream. Okay, so now if I go to profile and I can just come into my layout here and add that really quick. My nav bar. Okay, so the values aren't being populated here. Why is that happening? Oh, it's because I don't have one set. Sorry. Okay, so first name, we'll say Hunter. And then I don't even think I have the actual actions defined yet, so I can do those. And then we'll do update profile. We'll take request and locals here. And then we need to set up a validator. So we'll set up a schema. And actually, since this is optional, we really just need to make sure this is a string and it doesn't go over a max. So we'll have a max of like 64. I don't know what a good length is or max length to set for names. I know there's some names are much longer than others. Jay Jambok says, hi there, thanks for the great content. Your voice is very soothing. Falling asleep to your videos for some time now. That's fantastic to hear. I'm glad that my videos are so boring you're falling asleep. I'm kidding. Thank you. Quick question. How did you get the terminal and output on the right side instead of below the code? I simply right clicked on this thing and clicked move panel to the right. Don't worry, actually, it took me a minute to figure it out at first too. I couldn't remember. I'd done it before accidentally. And yeah, it's definitely nice having it over here, especially when I'm working full screen like this. So this actually isn't required. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these optional. And I can do dot optional here. And then if I decide to add some required fields later on, I can do so. I'm console logging that session. So let me okay. So now I have this schema. What I can do is I can run const form data errors equals await validate data. I'm going to pass in the request.form data. And then I'm also going to pass in the schema, which is our update profile schema. Say if errors, we're going to return invalid. Data is going to be form data. Errors is going to be errors.flatten. Or I'm sorry, errors.field errors. That's not a method, that's just a property here. I need to import this. And then if everything's good there, we'll do a try catch. And I need to update a record. And really, I don't think I need to do anything with this value. So I believe I can just say await. If I ever do need to do something, that I can do it later. It's going to be prism.profile where the ID is equal to, we'll say locals.session.user.id. And then the data we'll simply pass in form data here. I need to actually catch. Okay, we have the action set up. Should be updating the profile now. So when we go here and we go to our application, and then I add a first name and a last name. I wonder how to refetch data when insert new one, like view dispatch. Copy. So I'll show you in just a second how that occurs. But when I click update profile, you're going to see that this page is going to be populated with the data. Actually, I lied. It's not. So hold on a second. Oh, that's because I actually need to wait, this should be populating though. So this should be retriggering this load function here, right? I wonder if I refresh the page though. Okay, so that's not good. Let's check my database here to see if everything updated. I might just be tripping here. Okay, so I didn't actually update those fields. And I wonder if it's because I need to, so form data should have a first name and a last name. Maybe if I do that. Do I have a method post on my form? I don't. I should need to do this. I think I can just do form data. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that the data is here now after I updated the profile. And obviously this happened because I'm not using progressive enhancement at the moment. So I'm submitting a normal form. You can see that the URL changed. So it actually makes a post request to this URL here now. And then obviously it's going to take me to that page. It's pretty much going to reload the page, which is then going to trigger my load function again. And my load function's job is to go out and get my user profile, if there is one, of course, and then return that back. And then that's what I'm populating the initial values of these inputs with, is the data that's returned from the load function. And then I can obviously add, again, progressive enhancement and then do that without actually triggering a full page reload. I believe in this case, if I just run use enhance here, it's going to actually reset the form. So I have to actually set up a custom function for that. Okay, so where's my README? Okay, let's see here. I need to create a .env.example real quick. Let me do that. Let me blur my screen out so you can't see my stuff. Okay. So env.example is committed. That's good. I think everything else is good. Damn, I wish I used PocketBase instead of Directus in my current project. Not that Directus is bad, just so I can apply more stuff I learned here. Yeah, well, to be honest, I think is it Johannes or Johannes? If you can learn an SDK, like an SDK is just an SDK most of the time, right? That's what I like to think about a lot of things within this realm. Again, like they all have their own flavors, but ultimately, if you can know what you're trying to do with that SDK, I think that's more important is knowing what are you trying to accomplish, and then you can properly figure out how to do it with whatever you're deciding to use, right? Johannes, got it. So like, you know, PocketBase SDK, Firebase SDK, Suabase SDK. I think AWS is Amplify SDK. They're all very similar. Because behind the scenes, most of them are doing the exact same things, right? It's just however they decide to abstract that out to you, the developer. But I think it's more important to know what are you trying to do so you can properly look through the documentation and figure it out. Okay, so this is probably where I'm going to stop today. I'm going to look at a question that someone had for me in the Discord really quick here. By the way, if you're not a member of the Discord, you should be. Really should be. I mean, look at all these questions that are being asked here and answered. I need to mark some more of them as solved because they have been solved. But you can see like this has 9 comments, 15 comments on this. People are really trying to help each other out here, and it's cool. It's a smaller community. Obviously, you can ask your questions in the Svelte community as well. But again, there's a lot more saturation there. And if I don't know the answer, then there's a high chance someone else might. So let me read this one first. I believe this is Alan Parrish here. I've been following the videos on creating an app using SvelteKit and PocketBase, and I'm probably jumping the gun here, but I'll ask anyways. Basically, let's say you have a collection called items or some items for a shop. I also have another collection called bundles with fields that link to the items collection. I'd like to create a bundle with multiple items and pull that information in Svelte, where I can then do things like add up all the cost of each item in the bundle and display the total. So he has items, he has bundles. Bundles have a relationship to the items. Okay, so for this, Alan, I wish you were still here. I think he went to sleep. I'm gonna need to get some more information from him to see exactly how he's doing this. Because it looks like he's gonna have like a list of different IDs of items, and then he can just get the items that way, or he could set up an indirect relation using a join table where he has a bundles and items table where he's able to map different items to different bundles, and then he can use the indirect expansion that I used in my live stream series on PocketBase to take care of grabbing those. But I'll respond to him. And then Robert says, following your live series of Prisma and Supabase, and I like it a lot. I've been Googling around to find the benefits of using Prisma and Supabase. I like Prisma and its power, and I love Supabase, which is also powerful, but it feels like everything gets a bit more complicated when you combine them both without winning much. What do you gain by using both? I read the Reddit thread where Daniel from Prisma answered, and also did Paul from Supabase. I would appreciate if y'all could weigh in with your thoughts, pros and cons. I remember someone from one of the live streams said that his favorite stack was SvelteKit, Prisma, and Supabase. I unfortunately don't remember who said it. Well, Robert, I can answer that for you here, and I'll link the timestamp why I'm using it. So one reason is that if I ever decide to move away from Supabase and I want to go to, let's say, just my own self-hosted Postgres or whatever else, all my database calls are not dependent upon an SDK, a vendor's SDK, right? Prisma doesn't care what Postgres you're using behind the scenes. This will all still work regardless. On top of that, the types, I don't have to generate a bunch of types or even import any types. So if I look here at my, let's just say, where is it? Profile page. I don't have profile imported anywhere up here. But if I hover over a profile, I can see that it has a type of profile just because it knows from this what type it's going to return. Right? So now I have type safety here. I know that this is profile, and I can also see what fields profile has, right? If it does have any. So if I go to, and again, it would show this, right? So it would have, this isn't Prisma, but it would have something like this with the schema there. And I believe it may show me if I hover over this somewhere. Yeah, so the type safety is great. On top of that, I ran into a lot of issues with PocketBase's SDK. Again, due to it just not being able to support some of the complex things that I was trying to do. I'm not saying that Supabase can't do those things. It probably can. It's much more mature. But I also like to define my schema here like this. This makes me happy. And instead of trying to define it in the UI here, I don't know, this just makes more sense to me. And I get the types automatically. I don't have to import them everywhere. Yeah, I don't think there's beyond that though. I think that no matter what you want to use, you'll be fine. I wouldn't stress about it too much. All right, everyone, I think that's going to do it for my stream today. I appreciate you all so much for hanging out while I start this new project here. I'm off to a better start than my previous Supabase and Prisma project, so I hope this one will continue to progress. We're going to slowly start to add more features. We kind of have the initial database structure down where we have organizations, we have organization users. So we're going to be able to dive into, you know, role-based access control, different views depending on what type of user you are, right? Whether you're a recruiter, an admin, whatever. So I'm really excited to use Supabase and see where we can take this project. So that being said, I will see you all most likely tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening, morning, night, wherever you're at. And thank you all again.